So for the HydraFacial machine, when you're using the different chambers, so chamber A, B, and C. So these chambers right here, as you can see in the video, A is going to be your cleaning solution. And so for your cleaning solution is nothing but a cleanser. The cleanser, like you've seen in the other video before, is just your hydrogen peroxide, your choice of a toner, that you can put in tea tree oil, and then you can put in micellar water. So those 4 ingredients you add into your cleanser. It has to be a liquid-based cleanser. You can't just put soap or some sort of gel-based cleanser or something that's thick, because the little tubes on the inside or this machine isn't powerful enough to suck everything like through. Because if it did, you're putting pressure on the motor, you're putting pressure on the filters and everything else. So as I stated earlier, remember when you're putting in your 4 different solutions that make up your whole solution, for your cleansing portion of the HydraFacial, that just goes into A, the first chamber, A. B is your second chamber. The second chamber is going to be for a chemical peel or a harsher solution, not harsh meaning bad, but something that's more destructive for your skin, to destruct those skin cells that are dead on your face, to soften them up, to get them off, stratum corneum layers of your face. So you need something that has penetrating power, something that's good, that can go deep down and cleanse your skin. It's going to feel a little tingly because yes, it does have a chemical peel in it, and it's only about 5 to 10 drops. It's not a lot. This is just made for somebody who has sensitive to dry skin, but it can be used on anybody who has normal to oily skin, all skin types. But a HydraFacial machine's whole intent or whole purpose is just for people who have dry, flaky skin, sensitive skin, where they can't handle extractions or a full chemical peel or any other types of serums or cleansers that are harsh for their face, where they turn some bright red or they break out. That's why HydraFacial machine was designed for, to superficially on top of the skin work out for your face. Anybody who's pregnant, anybody who's going through like melasma or pregnancy mask, it's great for their skin. Normally a facial, you can't do a chemical peel for somebody who's pregnant. I mean, come on, you can, but I wouldn't do that because it could give you internal problems. Those chemicals are harsh. So the C chamber is basically your serum chamber. So your serums are basically a lot of powerful additives and ingredients that's good for your skin, calming, soothing, stops with irritation, inflammation, all that good stuff after any type of treatment before that. So serums are great for soothing, calming, adding ingredients into your face for your new skin cells. Your daughter and mother cells are now like, whew, thank God, we actually have something to help us, or your melanocytes that come up to the surface of skin, they can properly grow. And so if you have something that's actually hindering their growth or destructing them before they can even develop, which are like free radicals, lingering nonsense in the air, toxins, perfumes, scents, colognes, crazy body washes that we use like Axe body spray, or the body wash, it's good, but it is filled with a lot of chemicals and toxins. Come on. And imagine you putting that on your face on top of your new mother and daughter cells that are trying to thrive. It's not going to work out so well. So that's why you need a good serum. Those serums, they cost a fortune. They're in little small jars or bottles, yes, for a reason. Because they do have the best vitamin C, the best anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, this and that, wrinkle reduction, retinols, all that good stuff is a fortune. But if you have a serum that's organic, liquefied, that's what you would put in C. So this one is a hyaluronic-based serum. You can make it at maybe a 1% hyaluronic acid, so it can be watery. You don't want a hyaluronic acid that's normally, that drips out like a resin or syrup. It's sticky, kind of. And even for hyaluronic acid, it still needs some water for gliding. So if it's too thick, you just water it down and dilute it and make it a 1%. So if you watch my video, that's going to come up sooner or later, and it's going to be all about making these products. Because you need to know if it's 1%, 2%, anything higher than 2.5% or 3%, It's super thick. Not saying that that won't work for hyaluronic acid. It's just too thick. It is, the molecule's too big. It probably won't even be absorbed into your skin properly. It can't transverse through the epidermal channels of your face. It cannot. It's too thick. Just like water when we go out and get wet. But it's not like we absorb that water. If we did, we'd be sponges. We couldn't even step outside for 2 seconds. We wouldn't walk anywhere. If we could absorb all the water, come on. Rain would be our deadliest adversary. It wouldn't be bullets or guns or anything else crazy. It would be water. So thank God we had that acid mantle. It beads off of our skin. We feel it. Yes, it can go into our skin a little bit, but it won't absorb totally. So that's the same thing for hyaluronic acid. If it's too thick, it can't help you. Even vitamin C. If somebody says, I'll have a vitamin C in my hyaluronic acid serum or any base serum that they're talking about or cleanser, vitamin C has to be at a pH balance of at least 3.5 and under. Anything above that is too acidic. So when you see these creams that says, oh, it's 30% vitamin C, that's a bunch of bullshit. There's no way a cream could, the cream is most likely going to absorb the vitamin C, which is going to move it into a DHAA, I forget the whole scientific name behind it, but it's like deoxylated or decarbonate, whatever it is. It's taken away from the actual vitamin C because it's being absorbed by the product you've mixed it with. But if you have a product that's below a pH balance of 3.2, 3.5 at least, then you'll have a good vitamin C. That's why I say vitamin C orange juice. You make the orange juice, yes, that's the perfect vitamin C. Limes, lemons, cherries, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. I mean, there's many fruits and vegetables have it, but you got to eat it right then and there. Because your body, internally, you're absorbing it. Your stomach acid, everything else floats it through your body. That's the true way to absorb any type of product. Vitamin C or vitamin anything. So C, you can have hyaluronic acid, or you can have an oil-based. Oil-based, this one is just basically going to have vitamin E oil. Vitamin E is great for your skin. It should just be the #1 oil. I don't know why no one ever puts it out there as the best. It is. Vitamin E is in like almost every nut. Walnut, hazelnut, almonds, you think chia seed, vitamin E. Vitamin E will always be the #1 for me because I know hair growth. Well, vitamin B is hair growth as well, biotin, all that good stuff. But yes, but E keeps it moisturized. Most hair products have a vitamin E in it somehow, some way. They just don't market it that way, but it does. Then you want grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is a thinner oil that can actually penetrate. Vitamin E penetrates to a certain level for protection. Vitamin, or the other oil that I'm talking about is actually thinner. So grapeseed. Grapeseed is super thin. Now that can actually go deep into the skin. So after we did dermaplaning, after we did a chemical peel, after we did any type of treatment on our face to heal the skin for serums, now it's a nice, like, wow, we're moisturized. Nothing can get past certain layers of the skin unless you do a dermaplaning, chemical peel, heating the face really, really well with a nice steamer, hot towel. These products will do nothing for you if you cannot go to the certain layers of your face. Past at least the stratum corneum, and that's basically your first layers of skin. And there's like 5 different layers, 6 possibly, but we don't really get taught that 6th one, but the first 5, the first one you always want to get through. But that's what these serums are for. So this serum, see how big this bottle is? It will fit into this chamber. So about 430 milliliters, I'm sorry, so in ounces, 16 ounces, just like a regular bottle of water, 16 ounces. Well, a bottle of water is a little bit under 16 ounces, I think it's like 15 point something. But anyway, it's like a bottle of water. 16 ounces will get you your full chamber. So always remember, this is about 16 ounces. If you want to look at milliliters, it is 460 milliliters. And those are the only 2 measurements I would ever go through, is milliliters or OZ. Just for measurement's sake, it's easier to go that way. That's what you will put in chamber C, your serum. Remember, vitamin E oil, grapeseed oil, and you put in, geranium, clary sage. I like clary sage oil aromatherapy or lavender. Bergamot is good. You can use frankincense. Frankincense has a pungent smell though. I would just stick with lavender. You can rose hip seed oil, perfect, but it's expensive. You can use almond oil. That's what aromatherapy almond oil. It's just a lighter version of the oil vitamin E, just an aromatherapy scent. You can use your bergamot or clary sage. I used clary sage in the oil. And so that's when you take off the top. It's relaxing, it's sedative, and clary sage, great for the skin. Anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, antifungal, all that good stuff. So is lavender as well. Lavender's calming. Lavender has a little bit more properties into it, but not everybody loves lavender. Some people don't like lavender at all. It agitates their skin. Make sure they aren't allergic to any type of oils. And the oil that I just named, it's a carrier oil. Carrier oils just mean that it can actually be soluble. Soluble meaning that whatever you put into this, it's going to mix well. So as you can see, there's no bubbles, there's no, little seahorses or seaweeds running around in the damn thing, or any type of little dead animals or whatever it is. Floating, the little floaties, you don't have floaties in there. If you have floaties, it did not absorb. It will still come out. It's just you're going to feel some granules on your skin. Like, what the hell is that? That's something that somebody told you is in there and it doesn't mix well. So all these so-called estheticians who are telling me about, oh, you can't mix that bullshit. Yes, I can. If you know your pH balances, if you know what is soluble and what's not soluble, you can mix anything that you want. And you have a centrifuge, or if you have a good blender, you're not going to do this by hand. That would take you hours, if not days or weeks, to mix all that together. That's why you need a homogeneous blender. Homogeneous, to bring together in a fast rate, super high rate. Better than a regular blender. So if you know these terms, if you know how to mix certain things, you will do well. I know who's bullshitting, I know who's not. And I know who just isn't bullshitting and they know nothing and they can be taught something. So there's differences between people and what they're trying to sell you. So that's all I'm using for these. Remember, cleanser, basic cleanser. Make sure it's water, liquid. See how it's moving? It's like liquid, it's water. Make sure it's not a regular soap cleanser. You can't just put something thick in here. It's not going to work that way. Even if you diluted it, it might not suck through. So use the water-based cleanser that I put together for you. Remember, hydrogen peroxide. And for hydrogen peroxide, I know somebody said hydrogen peroxide isn't good past a couple months. Yes, that is true if it's introduced to air. If it's hydrogen peroxide, if it's a certain percentage, there's food grade, and then there's the cooking grade or cuts and burns grade. There's two different ones. Well, actually, there's three. There's like a medical hospital grade one. There's the cooking one, or you can swallow it and drink it. That's like a food grade. Then there's actual skincare one, or cuts and bumps and bruises, and you can use it in here. So make sure those percentages are the proper hydrogen peroxide, and you'll be fine. Hydrogen peroxide lasts at least 6 to 8 months, even if it is opened. It will still last you. If it doesn't bubble, you pour it into a little cup and it doesn't bubble, yeah, it's probably not good at all, because all the efficacy out of that product is gone. So you put in that, and your other ingredients, your tea tree oil, and your toner, and then with your, or you can use witch hazel. Witch hazel is an astringent. It squeezes and goes down deeper to the skin and flushes things out. So the toner only tightens up those pores. It closes things up. But an astringent goes way down there. It's like you're ripping somebody's neck off. Yeah, you're getting down deep in there, and you're really getting rid of those toxins or enemy or whatever that's blocking that pore. It's astringent. So witch hazel, you can work as well. B is just the same thing as this, just with a chemical peel. That's the only difference. That's why the color is different. C, this is nothing but serum. It's a serum, that's all it is. It could be oil-based or it could be liquid-based. It could be hyaluronic acid, it could be vitamin C, it could be all those things that you want to add. Just make sure they can blend together. Surfactants, like in certain chemicals, they will not come together without a surfactant. You may have to go back to your Milady's book or aesthetic book, whatever you're learning, and learn about surfactants. That's how chemicals are mixing together. Now, the only reason why I normally really add in not a carrier oil, but a aromatherapy to make it smell good. Most products in the world have to have preservatives, fragrances, anything that makes it smell good or last longer. That's why that product smells, oh my God, Bath and Body Works, this smells so fucking good. But it's the horriblest thing for your body if you're using it every day. If you use it once in a while in moderation, you're fine. But some people put shit on their face or body twice a day, 3 times a day, whenever the fuck they want to. And you're breaking down your body's cellular walls, and that's why you're aging quicker than normal. Why isn't this product working? Well, how many times are you using it? So I use only products that are good for my skin or your skin. So don't mess around and see somebody doing some stupid shit talking about, oh, it smells bad. Most organic stuff is not going to smell great. No, it's not. Because it's organic. It's actually good stuff. It's derived from Mother Nature. But if you have scents and stuff and perfumes in it, of course it's going to smell good. That's what they marketing. They want you to feel great about yourself and what you're smelling so you can buy more. You know, anyway, as an example, this serum right here, number C, or chamber C, it's the same thing right here in this bottle. It's the same bottle. I'm just showing you this one is what you would fill it with. This is how much it would be to fill up one chamber. This is just like a personal to-go bottle, or if you have it at your house, is what I use. So you pretty much, 2 pumps should do it, maybe 3, but 2 should be good. See, 2 was good. That's a lot. Mix it together in palms of your hands. Apply it to the face. Get those ears. And my forehead is already greasy, so it really didn't need it, but it's okay. You get those eyes, the orbital areas of my eyes. Give yourself a little self-massage, nose, upper lip. And I'm rough with my skin. I like for it to really get in there. Beard and neck, or décolleté. And pretty much that's it. That's all I do. And see how I'm nice and greasy? I should wipe this down a little bit more. Jesus. And yes, the oil, I only needed 2 pumps, and now I'm pretty much shiny. This is all you need. You don't need a whole entire bottle. This bottle in the C chamber should last you a couple months. You should not be ordering this stuff all the time like they want you to in the big box stores. This is only going to run out in a couple months. You'll be fine. Trust me. Thank you for watching. Sorry, okay, so I forgot to tell you guys about the D chamber. The D chamber, or the letter D, which is on the back side of the machine. We went through it quickly through the other video that I did earlier, the very first HydraFacial machine, 6-in-1 machine that we put together. Yes, I went through it rather quickly. I apologize. So this time, I'm going to show you guys the back side of it. To where the D chamber is. So if you look right here, this is the D chamber right on this side. I'll move this back so you guys can see. So the D chamber is for your H2O2, your special oxygenated water or decarbonated water, or whatever you're going to use for special water. You can just use regular distilled water. Don't use faucet water unless you have to. Faucet water isn't totally bad, even if you look at certain states, even for, well, unless you're talking about Michigan. Michigan is still pretty bad in that certain area where they, Flint, Michigan, where they put lead in the water, all this other crazy shit. Yeah, it's pretty bad. They're working on it, but that still doesn't let them off the hook for knowing that shit has been going on for so many years and killing people. So I pray that they get charged billions of dollars and the families get reparations for that, for people that they lost or suffered in the hospital through illnesses through that water. That's crazy. So faucet water is not bad if you know your state, your county, your local township, or whoever that controls your water, their water level, the pH balance is at least drinkable, or it's not acidic, or if it's not too super alkaline and it's right in the middle, then your water is good. You can actually use that in the D chamber, but it's just better to use distilled water. You can go down to Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, all these places and get like jugs of it for like 80 something cents, maybe 92 cents. I mean, for real, it's under $1 for a whole gallon Crazy. So you're gonna fill it up in this chamber. So this chamber right here, it comes out, you just screw the chamber out. So it comes out. So that's all you're doing is unscrewing. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. So again, put it up in there. If your machine does not come with the O-ring, this little rubber piece right here, this orange piece, the suction, the air will come out. It'll sound like this. Too much air. It's not supposed to sound like that. It's supposed to be like maybe humming, like for your machine, and you'll see. But if that ring is not on here, the air is gonna come out. It'll still work, but it won't be as strong. You need this ring. Do not have your machine without the O-rings. So make sure you have that. Put it back in the holder and then screw. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. That's pretty strong. There you go. So you have a nice tight seal so it can get suction pretty much. So this is your D. This is what you would use to cleanse your face. So after you use your cleanser, after you use your astringent or chemical peel solution, after you use your C chamber, which is the final serum application, all that good stuff, if you did want to actually clean the face again with just water, you can turn it to D, which I'm about to show you in a minute, and cleanse the face with just pure clean water. So like I said, if you have too much of a serum or too much of a chemical peel or it's burning too much, you can wash it off if you don't have a bowl or extra water with you. This is a cleansing, not cleanser. Cleansing, just with water, you're just getting rid of any type of debris. You're refreshing the face. Soap, buildup, mildew, all that good stuff. So when you do your cleanser, ER, on the other side or on this side, and you're cleansing the face with the cleanser, and you still have soap and you don't have sponges, you can now turn it to D, and this water, it will suck the soap up and wash your face at the same time. Let's watch. So now you know what the H2o2 is. This is your dirty water. Look at it. That is not fresh, that's not clean, dirty water. All right, so let's turn it back to the opposite side. So as you can see in the other video, A, B, C, just because it says right here, deep cleaning or oxygenated liquid pipeline cleaner disinfectant, follow your steps of the basic aesthetic school. That's what they call the basics course. Then you go to the master's course and so on and so forth, medical aesthetics, everything else. Your basic stuff of how we cleanse somebody's face is basically always going to be a cleanser, A. Now, if you want to use an astringent or toner, you can put that in B. Or if you want to skip the toner and astringent and just make a chemical peel solution, put that solution. This is a chemical peel solution. Put it in B. After that, you can put C. You don't have to put a disinfectant in there. I mean, what disinfectant are you using? Forget that. Just because it says it, follow your protocol from your aesthetic school. So again, C would basically mean you're going to tone the skin again or provide a serum for the face. After that, moisturizer for the sunscreen, and you're good to go. These steps are something that this company has made. They're not estheticians, they're not dermatologists, they're not skincare professionals, they're not anybody that you need to worry about. Worry about yourself, worry about what your school has taught you, the Milady's book. If you go by the Milady's book, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong, you really can't. And it's just basically a basic facial. This machine is for superficial, on top of the skin type of cleaning. It's nothing deep, it's nothing invasive. It's just a basic, really great machine for people who are pregnant, who have sensitive skin issues for their skin. They can't have a cleanser that can harshly eat up their face. It's sensitive. It's made for dry, sensitive skin people, pregnancy. If you're going through a pregnancy, you can still get a facial. Isn't that wonderful? Mommy to be, yes, she can still get a facial and still feel pretty. Queen bee. So after that, if you have rosacea or any other problems on the face that's sensitive, you can use HydraFacial. And the chemical peel is only about 8 to 10 drops. You are not going to get the super wicked skin peeling off your face like you see in videos. No, this is only for superficial peels. That's it. So other than that, if somebody else comes in, you can still use this for everybody else. It's still going to be a great treatment, no matter what your skin type is. But if you want something aggressive, microdermabrasion, which this machine does do, but it's at a lighter temperature or pressure, you can still do it. But somebody who has that crazy acneic skin to where it's grade 2, 3, and 4, you need somebody to get dermaplane if you want to really get uneven skin tone under control, or a chemical peel that's going to really tear down those melanocytes or the keratin, those cells that just want to cling onto your face and make you look old and dull. You need something stronger. This is not going to do that. This is for somebody who has dry, sensitive, irritated skin. Like I said, if you have a pregnancy, you're going through pregnancy, you can still get a facial. It's gentle. Teenagers, perfect. It's not as harsh for your skin like Proactive, or I'm not saying that they're a horrible company, it's just it's super strong stuff. You can actually do more harm than good. So just make sure you're using your machine properly. But it's good to work on everybody's face. Just if you have certain conditions, then you don't want to use this on somebody who has severe conditions. Okay? All right, so here we are. We're at an up close view of the machine. So remember, if you wanted to use your D chamber, the D chamber, you're going to stand up, look at the machine. Right there, see where it says D? D is going to be right here. It's going to be pointing. These are the applications that you want to use, A, B, C, or D. So you're just turning this knob right here to whatever zone you want. So now we're at the C chamber. Turn the knob. Look at that. Now we're at the B chamber. Turn the knob again. Guess what? Oh shit. Yep, it's A. We are on the A chamber. See? Get you guys to see with this light. So getting in closer. Zoom. All right, so I apologize about that. We had to interrupt the video. We had somebody knocking on the door. But remember, your ABC chambers, they're gonna be right here in D. So all you're doing is taking this knob and you're turning it to whatever letter that you want to operate. So if it's A is going to be A chamber. The A chamber, all you're going to do is, guess what? Yeah, turn the knob. This is simple, easy directions. So now it's on C. Oh shit, let's look at C. That's this chamber right here, C. Hey, what if I want to go to B? Well, hey, I just grab the knob, turn it backwards. Or, I'm sorry, that's D. Let's go one more. A, B, back to B. So that's all you're doing is basically turning a knob. Whatever solution you want to use. If I want to use, hey, I want to use A. What do I have to do? Oh, let's guess what? Go to the knob, turn it to A. Where's A? Is that A? Oh, yep, that's A. Now you're working with A chamber. So as you guys can see, it is actually quite easy to use this machine. It's nothing hard to where you guys are asking questions on YouTube or in my DMs about how to use the machine. It is like foolproof. It's easy to use as long as you're using common sense. And that's pretty much how you're using your A, B, and C. If you want to use your D chamber, guess what? We're gonna change it to D. Look at that, it's out D. Man, I go right here to the back. And this is the D chamber. If I want to turn it on, it's now on. Move these cords out of the way so you guys can see what the chamber looks like, what the water is. And see how it's like bubbling, or basically the light, which is killing certain debris, bacteria, and it's allowing those bubbles to form those ions. pretty much it. That's your D chamber, H2O. It's just your cleansing, nothing but water, nothing but clean water. There's zero anything in here. Nothing's in here, it's just water, distilled water. So again, for those who keep leaving me crazy comments, this is just water, distilled water. I hate to talk to you guys like you're slow, you know, but these YouTube comments, man, it's getting like really ridiculous, and it's making me question if you guys are estheticians or you just buying machines just to buy them. So if I want to turn it off, hit the little button, it's off. And you turn on your O2 right here. See where it says O2? Just hit the button. Or it should be highlighted blue. If it's off, it's white. If it's white, it means it's off. If it has color, it's on. It's the best. Okay? Your timer's still moving. You make sure you have it on dermabrasion. You can turn it off, turn it on. Turn it on, turn it off. That's how easy it is. And these are just your regular functions up here. This is how you control your air, how much pressure you want, or suction from the air. This is how much water you want to come out. Water pressure, max to minimum. So these are only 3 buttons that you have to ever worry about in your LCD screen, which controls these wands up here. So this center, controlled by this. These 3 knobs control this, and on the back of the machine, and plus your chambers, like you're switching your different chambers. That's it. All right, and that's all you have to worry about with the HydraFacial machine. All right, and lastly, you guys have been asking about what I should be putting or mixing in my C chamber. The C chamber, you can use your C chamber by your hands, or you can let the machine do it for you. If you let the machine do it for you, you're basically putting in maybe a hyaluronic acid at maybe 0.5%. 1% would be a little watery, but these tubes inside, for instance, if I take out C, when you take out C, if you look at the tube is like that small, like a little bit of hole, so it's not going to suck anything that's going to be very runny. So even this hyaluronic acid, it moves, but it's too thick. See that? It's like syrup or honey. It's too thick of it. Even though it's moving, I'm forcefully moving it. It should be splashing around. So see how it's jelly? It's too thick. So you just put this back in. You hear the click, it's in. So what I would do is actually put in more distilled water with a stick blender or homogeneous blender, and put in some water, blend it down, and it will turn more liquid. So if you ever run into something that's too thick, run it, especially when it's hyaluronic acid, you can actually add more water, distilled water, and let it dilute down. So if you don't want to use hyaluronic acid, you can always use hemp seed oil, grapeseed oil, flaxseed oil, vitamin E oil, jojoba oil. You put all of those oils together, did I already say rose hip seed oil? Anyway, you put all those oils together, that's a super potent omega-3 antioxidant, or antifungal, anti-anything resistor. It will always help with skin growth, hair, all that good stuff, all into one. You're putting all those oils into one. Just make sure they're carrier oils that can actually carry and blend, come together. Not every oil is going to come together, even though it's an oil. It's crazy, right? So this oil on the side right here, this is like 4 oils into one. So grapeseed, vitamin E, rose hip seed oil, almond oil, and I already said grapeseed oil. It's about 4. I could have swore I put 5, but anyways, those 5 oils, omega-3 fatty acids, all that good stuff. Hell, it's already in here. And you can put shea oil if you want to. It's really, really good. And argan oil. So sorry, argan oil is what I put in. So those 5, argan in here, vitamin E, all those oils make a nice serum. So that serum, let me tell you, it's highly, highly potent. And you don't need to do much, and it's thin. See how it's not as thick as that C chamber. C chamber was too thick. This rolls right out of, look. To test anything for this type of tube, if you get any of these smaller bottles, it's the same tube. They all have a manufacturing, every tubing has specifications for nozzles or openings. So they can only be so super thick or small. Because if it's too super thick, not enough air, it's gonna explode, or this cap would actually kind of fall off all the time you're trying to use it, or it won't pump out. So this tube right here is the same exact tube length and width or circumference, the whole circle. It's tiny, very tiny. So remember, things can't get through here like your machine. It's not going to be an effective machine. So put this back on. To test to see if this can go through, put it in a bottle just like this. Spray it in your hands. If it comes out, it works. Even this pump is delicate. The pump in here is it's a big machine. It can pump like 10 of my fingers, squirting it out. But if it doesn't come out because it's too thick, it'll let you know. So those squirts I put in my hand, this is the oil I use. One more squirt, or serum is all I use. Put it together. My face is ashy maybe a little bit. Get the ears, get behind the ears, get the neck, the nape of the neck. And you don't have to put on your serums or oils the way I do. I'm rough with my face. I like to make sure it goes in there and penetrates my pores. And give myself a little self-massage. Get the corners of my eyes, crow's feet. Get the corner of the nose. Get the lip. Get your neck, décolleté, all that good stuff, and you're done. Pretty much, that is it. That's all the serum is. Makes you nice and shiny and glowy and dewy and glass skin, all that shit. So, I hope this helps explain everything. Now, lastly, a young lady asked about radio frequency. Do I have to have the machine that has the radio frequency handpiece? No, you do not. This is just radio frequency. And you can change your colors if you want to. See? So, radio frequency, it is a good treatment. Don't get me wrong. It penetrates. You do feel your skin kind of tightening, or it's not like tightening to where you're going to get microcurrent. That's what most people want. They want to feel their skin getting exercised and getting those muscles tight in their face, that they have lost elasticity. Yes, microcurrent is the best way. Radio frequency is if you want to penetrate, product penetrate. You're going to put on a serum, you're going to put on a cooling gel, mask. Yes, then you would actually use all on your face, circle motions, pause, circle motions, pause, circle motions, pause, and so on and so forth. And that's how you'll be using your radio frequency for product penetration, to get it into the skin. So you don't have to have this. You can actually have, there's 2 systems. They have everything else, and they actually have a microcurrent. So this would be your microcurrent. Or you could buy this system, and this has the radio frequency, RF. So radio frequency is all of this into one. If you don't want the radio frequency, there's another one that actually has the actual microcurrent. Microcurrent is a little tube ball like a Y, and the grill goes down, contours, goes across your eyes, nose, forehead, tightens up the muscles, contracts those muscles, helps with elastin, collagen growth. elastin, all that good stuff to build those muscles, to work your face out. It's like a workout for your face. I like this one only because the clients in our area, they're normally younger clients anyway. Radio frequency might be your best option. Older clients, I'll say anybody over 26, going into 30s on up, go with the microcurrent. Microcurrent, you don't need anybody under 30, maybe even 35. For some people who are lucky, 40 if you're lucky. You might not need 45 if you're extremely lucky, because I've seen some people who are like 45, 50, 60 years old. They don't have crow's feet. They don't have wrinkles, number 11s, frown lines, or marionette lines, dummy face. They don't have any of that shit. Leather face. So they're rare, but they don't need radio frequency. You can do it. You can actually buy radio frequency by itself and then actually have this machine with microcurrent. So you'll still have your items or implements. Don't let that freak you out. There's 2 versions. I like DH Gate right now because you can actually order this and you get it within 8 to 10 days is their slowest days. Maybe 12th day if you ordered it on the weekend. Because you got to count for Saturday, Sunday are not business days. Those are non-business days. Business days are Monday through Friday. So if you ordered Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 days. If you ordered it on that Saturday or 4 p.m. after that Friday, 4 p.m., anything after 4 o'clock or 5 is technically the weekend. That's how business rolls. So if you ordered on that weekend, anytime behind those hours, you may get it. Monday would be the start of the 10th day. So it'll be 12 days. You got to add in 2 more days. They have expedited shipping. The machines are I think the highest I've seen was like $360, which is affordable. This machine when it came out was like $800. It was up there, close to $900. So DH Gate, Amazon is good. It's just Amazon is going to take at least 2 to 3 months. Whoever they have a partnership with, it's definitely overseas where they don't have expedited shipping. They do have a money back guarantee, all that good stuff, but still, you don't want to be waiting 2 or 3 months for a machine or anything. Like, fuck that, no. Only time you want to make somebody wait that long is if you dating somebody. Yeah, give him the 90-day rule, all that good shit. If he's a good, trustworthy man, he'll be there. But if he's not, oh well, kick rocks. So, with that being said, make sure you order it from a reputable company. I'm warning you, it's getting close to Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all this good shit. People are trying to go back to work, get out there, buy new shit. Get your stuff before the rush. And if you can't get it before the rush, use judgment, take your time, make your purchase wisely. Aesthetic work, you do not have to get out here and buy everything like everybody says. Oh, girl, you need this. Oh, man, you need... No, Negro. Look, no. Save your money. And I'm talking about all the Negroes, white, Asian, black, Asian, all y'all. And them and they and other. All of us. Make sure when you're purchasing online, it's an actual credit card. You lose your money through a credit card, or if it's hackers or a shady deal that's going wrong, you can at least contact your bank and say, hey, this is a fraudulent transaction. They will give you your money back. It's easier to recoup your money from credit cards than your own debit card. Your debit card is your money that's coming straight from your checking account. And if they withdraw $1,000 and you only had $1,000 in there, guess what? Your $1,000 is gone. Your Christmas dreams and hopes, damn, it's terrible. So make sure you're using a credit card or at least a prepaid card from Walgreens, or Walmart, any of those little prepaid cards. CVS got them. Everybody has them. You can get them online. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Seriously, and that's just a credit tip. That's like a money tip. Don't always use your debit card. Use your debit when you're at a grocery store, physically right then and there, I can get my items, pay for it, it's gone. But when you buy stuff overseas, over the internet, it is very hard. There's probably no investigator is probably going to take your case serious, and if they did, how are they going to hunt down the person? Oh, they're going to get on a plane, they're going to go to Thailand, they're going to go to China, Russia, where Snowden is right now, still under lock and key. That fool can't go nowhere. I don't know why the fuck he did that shit. But anyways, Edward Snowden, that motherfucker crazy. Russia ain't having it. So what are you going to do? Go all the way over there, prosecute somebody that probably doesn't even have a court system? They don't have due process like we do. Our jail, we actually have a working system. It fucking sucks right now because it's under a dumb fuck president, but it still works for the most part. But overseas, you're shit out of luck. So make sure you're purchasing wisely. If your machine is defective, make sure you can send it back, get your money back, or some sort of in-store credit to where they'll just give you the $300 back, but in the store credit. Whatever it is, you can get your money back. All right?